Okay kids, Mr. T here. Got another catch bounce challenge for you. We've done the basketball bounce challenge, now it's the handball bounce challenge. Pause the video, you'll need to go and find yourself a ball, either a tennis ball or a bouncy handball. A soft ball will not work for this. And we've already done the basketball challenge, so you don't want a big ball. It needs to be a handball or tennis ball size. Pause the video, go and find a ball. Off you go. Okay, I'm assuming you've come back, you've turned me back on again, and you have a ball. Now, two suggestions. In this challenge, we have to bounce and then make a catch. So we need to bounce the ball vertically. It needs to go straight down and straight back up. If you bounce it at an angle, it will bounce away at the same angle. A little bit of maths for you. If you bounce it slightly away from you, then when it comes back up, it'll bounce slightly away from you. Practice the vertical bounce. So it goes down and it comes straight back up. If that's a problem for you, if it's bouncing away from you and you've got to use your legs too much, that is also a good skill because you need to move towards the ball when you're tracking it. But for this challenge, I'd like to see your feet relatively still. Let gravity do it. Just drop the ball. Now that will only work if the ball has some good bounce in it and the floor is hard enough to allow that ball to bounce up to a catchable height. So you might need to be on a hard floor, maybe on concrete, or if your carpet like here is quite firm. If the drop doesn't give you enough height in the bounce, then you're going to need to practice vertical bounces so the ball comes straight back up. All right, let's get started. First one is either a vertical bounce or a drop bounce and then catch it with two hands. That's it. Don't set your goal too high. Don't set it at 100. Don't even set it at 20. Maybe not even 10. Set your goals realistically. And remember the message. Small progress is still progress. So if you're having trouble getting one, then when you get one, that's progress. That's a goal. Then go for two. Right? When we set our goals too high and they're unattainable to start with, it sometimes gets us frustrated. So don't worry about the number in a row at this stage. That can come later. All you need to do is work on tracking the ball with your eyes, dropping it or bouncing it and catching with two hands. Pause the video, go and have a bit of a play. How'd you go? I wonder how many you got in a row. Not that that matters, but I wonder how many you got in a row. Or whatever it was, whatever number you reached in a row, there is a mark you've got, and now the next time you try that level, you'll try and better that mark. If that was 5, then go for 6. If it was 12, go for 13. Okay, level number 2 is dominant hand, and I'm a right-hander, dominant hand, drop or bounce the ball and catch it one-handed with your dominant hand. Track the ball. Now you might notice I'm turning my hand over and letting the ball fall into it. What I notice in class, and I have to correct you sometimes, and in the playground, is when you're trying to catch the ball, you're snatching at it. Now when you've mastered the catch skill, when you're proficient at it, that will work, because that is just adapting in a game situation. However, when you're just starting off, if that catch is too quick, or that grab rather is too quick, your hand is closed, you move towards the ball and you punch it away. In the opposite manner, if the catch grab is too slow, it's already bounced off your hand because you're moving towards it and you've bounced it away or hit it away. So what I'm suggesting is turn your hand over and let it fall into your hand. Turn your hand over and just let it drop in. Like a little nest, and then it comes to land. Okay, let's try the challenge. The challenge is dominant hand, drop, bounce, and catch. Pause the video, have a crack at level 2. Good luck. How'd you go? Did you get a few in a row? Again, that doesn't matter just yet. Whatever you did in that level, that's your mark to attempt to better next time. Now, if you're following the patterns, we're going to our non-dominant hand. For me, that's my left, and the exact same procedure. We're going to drop or bounce the ball and catch it with our non-dominant hand. Same thing, turn your hand over and let the ball fall into it. Then you're not snatching at it and there's less chance of knocking it away. That's level 3. Pause the video and go and have a crack at that. Good luck. Okay, you're back. How was that level? A little bit more unfamiliar with that left hand or your non-dominant hand, and it can be a little tricky when you start off. But in game situations where you need to do catch and grab, you need to use both hands. It will depend on which side the ball is coming to you from, and you will need to adjust your body and adjust your catch technique to make the catch using it. The non-dominant hand, I mean. You can't always position yourself to be using that strong hand. Okay, level 4. Now, level 4 is we're going to drop it and do a double clap and then catch it. And you can catch it with one hand or two hands, it doesn't matter. I did it with one hand, there's with two. There's one hand, there's two. Pause the video and have a go at the drop bounce, double clap, and catch any way you like. Have a go at that. Good luck, guys. Okay, you're back. How did you go? Did the clap mess it up because your brain had to think about another skill or another thing happening in the whole catch process? Okay, now we're going to use that thing that we call crossing the midline. I'm going to take the ball with my non-dominant hand, hold it out, and drop it on my non-dominant side. I want to see a catch using my dominant hand. So I have to reach across my body to make the catch. I will have to move my feet and legs. I don't want to be running after the ball, but I will have to move them to get a more comfortable position to make that catch. So drop. And then use your dominant hand to drop and catch with your non-dominant hand. Have a bit of play with that using your non-dominant drop and your dominant drop and reaching across the midline, engaging both hemispheres of your brain, a really, really good activity to turn that brain on. Remember, drop with one side, catch with the other. Drop with one side, catch with the other. Change it up. Use both. Don't just use your dominant hand, use both. Pause the video and go and have a play. Enjoy it. Good luck. Okay, we've made it to level 6. Now, level 6, you're going to actually need to move your legs because we're going to do a small lob throw just out in front of us. Not a big lob throw, a little underarm lob throw, and then move towards and catch the ball. Now, ideally, we'll do this after the single bounce. But if it bounces a couple of times, that doesn't matter because you're still using that hand-eye coordination, you're still tracking the ball, and hopefully you're still making a clean catch, whether it bounces once, twice, or half a dozen times. So it's a small lob throw, and a lob throw is one that goes higher than it does long. So not one of those big long power throws. This is just a lob, and it will look a bit like this. And you can catch it with two hands, dominant hand, non-dominant hand. You can catch it any way you like. The skill here is a small lob, moving my body towards the ball, following with my eyes, and then making the clean catch using two hands, dominant hand or non-dominant hand. Here's what it looks like again. Dominant hand, non-dominant hand, or two hands. A little bit tricky, but I'm sure you're up for the challenge. Have a go at level 6. Pause the video, enjoy it, don't get frustrated. Good luck, see you in a minute. Okay, now you're back. You've gone through the 6 levels set by me, and you can go back and you can practice those anytime you like to try and get better at the catch skill. Now, level 7 doesn't exist because it's your level. You can make up a challenge that is safe and tell me about it next time you're at school. If you're not at my school, tell your teacher about the challenge you've just done and tell them ways that you engaged in the catching process and some of the skills that you may have learned or practiced in your own time. Okay, so here are some examples. I'm not quite sure how I'll go with the camera angles, whether I'm going to be in frame, but I'm going to turn side on. One of the ones you could do, and now remember the class message and the hoodie message. Small progress is still progress. You don't need to be a superstar day one. It's always nice, not necessary. All right, now one could be throwing it over your head, catching it after one bounce. It could be trying to catch it when it doesn't bounce. Over your head. One where it's crossing the midline, hand out, throw it over my arm, throw it over my arm. You've got the whole throw it under your leg. Basically, any catch skill you want to practice that is safe. Don't try helicopter spins because you're going to get dizzy and potentially you're going to fall over, hurt yourself, hit your head, hurt a knee or an ankle. You need to be thinking about the space that you're in and the safety of that challenge. Maybe go and get a sibling, get a parent, get an adult from the family to come in and do the challenge with you. Remember, be safe, because when you have to set your own challenge, sometimes we can get a bit carried away and we can try and be that superstar. It's great to be a superstar, but you know what? Just being a player, that'll do me every day of the week. Remember kids, stay active, stay healthy, and whatever you do, make sure you're trying to have fun. See you later.